What if your country was overwhelmed with violent riots and no one covered it? Saagar Enjeti is the chief Washington correspondent for the Hill newspaper, and we're happy to have him on tonight. So, Saagar, what if your country was transformed by violence, but the people whose job it was to tell you the truth about what was happening outside refused to do it and instead lied to you as a group and didn't stop lying? What would happen?
That's the amazing thing about this, Tucker. The media's handling of the story from the beginning has just been disgraceful. First, they just openly cheered on rioting and looting and crime. Then they tried to blame it on Russians and white nationalists because apparently that's the only group that we can selectively apply the rule of law to. And now, as you say, now they understand where they know exactly where public opinion is going on this, so they're trying to manipulate it. They're selectively covering it. They're saying, well, are there some people out there who are committing crime? You can see as clear as day for what is happening before your eyes. And I thought you put it perfectly earlier today in your show when you said that this is the first working class uprising, or this is the first uprising against the working class masquerading as one.
That's exactly right. It's a revolution aimed downward at those pesky people in the trailer parks who don't behave. I have to say, though, can the rest of us let them get away with this? I'm not one for vengeance. I'm not calling for it. But I don't think that people who've encouraged violence on television should be allowed to pretend they didn't and resume their normal lives as if they didn't do anything wrong.
No, we can't ever forget. Oh, this is when you find out who really is on the side of law and order and who isn't. And so many of these people are play-acting revolutionary. At the very worst, they're whitewashing it. But mostly, they know exactly what they're doing, which is that this is a cynical ploy, which is to use the cultural elites in this country, the commanding heights of American culture, want everybody to believe that America is an irredeemably racist nation from the very beginning. Because every second that we're not talking about that, we're not talking about the concentrated capital in the hands of the corporations and the elites, especially in the media, the people who own these companies, who are saying that no. What really the issue is race, and it's not class. Because if we start asking hard questions about class, if we start asking hard questions about their own roles in eradicating black home ownership and black wealth, then they might not like the answers, because the answers lie in the answer to these questions lie in the pockets of many of these people and in some of the political analysts that they employ as television analysts.
Yeah, shut up and smoke your weed. I have to say, just in my final question to you, are you shocked by it? I mean, I thought, I've worked at both of the other channels, and I don't agree with their politics. I don't vote for the people they do, but I thought all of us in America were horrified by violence. You couldn't look at someone getting beaten by a 2x4 and not recoil. They're not bothered at all. Does that shock you?
No, it doesn't shock me, Tucker. It's like I said earlier. The media and many of these Democrats, they only believe in selective enforcement of the rule of law. If it's a white supremacist organization, use the FBI to completely destroy it. But when it's a political cause that's committing violence, that is adjacent to a group that's committing violence, which is somehow associated with it, then the rule of law goes right out the order. It is just as much of an injustice in this particular area to have selective application of the rule of law. That is not how you have a real country.
And that is exactly right. If you want justice, if you want racial justice, demand the equal application of the law, always. Saagar Enjeti, wise points. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.